calculating the table of values from the given equation of straight line. Suppose the straight line given is y is equal to 2 plus x. Now this equation is in fact the rule of transformation. Suppose we had a black box here. If we input values of x, what this box does, this converts those values of x into values of y. But what happens to the value? Every value that comes in, 2 gets added to that value. So that's what 2 plus x means. If x is equal to 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, what is happening here? 2 is being added to 0 and the transformation is, so 0 plus 2 would be 2, and when 1 goes in, 1 plus 2 would be 3. When 2 goes in, 2 plus 2 would be 4, and when 3 goes in, then 3 plus 2 would be 5. So this equation in fact is a rule of transformation. But the way we calculate it is that we assume few values of x around 0. Around 0 mean on the positive side of 0 we can take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or we can take negative values 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, 4, or we can take values with whatever interval we want. But because x is an independent quantity or independent variable, therefore we have freedom to choose values of x whatever we want. So let's choose few values of x here. 0, 1, 2, 3, and we are to find out the values of y. Like I already explained, if x is equal to 0, the rule of transformation, if we replace 0 here, 0 plus 2 would be what? Y is equal to 2 plus 0 is equal to 2. If x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2 plus 1 equal to 3. If x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2 plus 2, that is equal to 4. And if x is equal to 3, then y is equal to 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5 here. So against 0 it was 2, and for 1 it is 3, for 2 it is 4, and for 3 it is 5. This is called the table of values. If we wanted the table of values, and this table of values actually gives us a lot of information, we can find out the c value and we can find out the m value. C is the y-intercept which occurs when x is equal to 0. The value of y when x is equal to 0 gives us c value. Here x is equal to 0, so the c value is 2, and m can be calculated when the difference between consecutive values of y is divided by the difference between consecutive values of x. So m is equal to 3 minus 2 over 1 minus 0, that is equal to 1 over 1, which is equal to 1. Or in other words, if you want to see from the equation, this coefficient right here, which is 1, that is the m value, and the other number which is independent of x, that is the c value. So now let's do another question, and in the other question we are going to find a table of values for another equation. Question number 2, 1 by 2x plus y equal to 4. Now in order to find, either we assume values of x or sometime those values are given. If those values are given, then we don't assume, rather we make one column of x and then if x was given as 0, 2, 3, whatever, then we find out the values against those values of x. But if there are no values, like here, if the question was find table of values, but no values of x are given, then we can assume few values of x around 0, which could be on either side, positive side or negative side. But let's first transform this equation into a form where y is isolated on the left side. So if we want to isolate y on this side, we have to transfer this whole thing on the other side. So this would give us y is equal to 4 minus 1 by 2x. So we have the rule of transformation is that whenever the full term crosses over this equality sign, this changes the sign. Here it was positive sign. When it has crossed over to the other side of the equality sign, it has become minus 1 by 2. Now it is easy, and because of this denominator 2, the values we are going to assume for x would be 0, 2, 4, 6, like multiples of 2. The reason is if we are okay, we can choose whatever values of x we want, but if we will choose values of x which are multiples of 2, our values of y will be easy to calculate, and those will be easy to put on the graph paper as well. So now for 0, if x is equal to 0, what is y equal to? Y is equal to 4 minus 1 by 2. We replace x with 0. This would give us 4 minus 0 is equal to 4. So for against 0, we get y is equal to 4. If x is equal to 2, then what is y equal to? 4 minus 1 by 2 times 2. So 2 times will cancel with 1. So this would be 4 minus 1, and that would be equal to 3. This is 3 here. And similarly, if x is equal to 4, then y is equal to 4 minus 1 by 2 times 4. 2 times is 4. 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. So y would be equal to 2 here. If for the similar reason, if x is equal to 6, then what would be y equal to? 4 minus 1 by 2. Instead of x, we are going to say 6 here, and 4 minus 2 3 times. So this would be 3, that would be equal to 1. So this is equal to 1. Now the table of values is this: 0, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 6, 1. If we want to plot this table of values on the graph paper, we can certainly write it in the form of pairs. Those would be 0, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 1. And we have learned how to calculate C value and M value from the table as well as from the equation. If we want to calculate C value from the table of values, so C value from the, if we want to use the table, then what would be C value? C value is the value of y when x is equal to 0. So this is equal to 4. And what is M value? M is divide these two. That would be 3 minus 4 divided by this side difference of these. This is 2 minus 0. That is minus 1 over 2. That is M value. With the help of C and M value, you can in fact find out the graph, or you can plot those pairs and you can find out the graph of the equation as well. But let's do one more question. And here the question is, if we have 1 by 3 x minus y equal to 2, find So question is, if 1 by 3 x minus y is equal to 2, find the table of values. Sometime the question is given, if 1 over 3 x minus y is equal to 2, find the table of values for x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. I mean the x values are given already in the question. If they are not given, then you have to assume. But if they are given, then just use those values. So let's make a table x, and like I said before, that we are perfectly fine if we choose values of x like 0, 1, 2, 3, but we will be much at ease if we choose values of x which are multiple of any number in the denominator here with x, because that way it will give us the integral values for y. Therefore, we are going to assume 0, 3, 6. These are, or maybe if we want, let's say 9. For these values of x, we are going to calculate the values for y. And now the equation is, what is the equation? 1 over 3x minus y is equal to 2. We got to find out that black box which I mentioned already, which transforms the values of x into values of y. So if we put in x here, it gives us the value of y. What this box does, we can find out by isolating y in this equation. That is also called the solution. But because minus y, this is a negative term on this side, if we take this term to the other side, this will become plus y. So let's do 1 by 3x equal to 2 plus y. And now, because we want to isolate y, so this 2 must be brought on the left side so that we can have isolated y, and y is equal to 1 by 3x minus 2. You see that now y has been isolated, and we can write it y is equal to 1 by 3x minus 2. This is that rule of transformation. Any value of x that goes into this box first gets divided by 3. So if incoming value was 9, it will first get divided by 3 because of this. So first divide by 3, 9 divided by 3 will give us 3, and then 2 is taken away from it. So 9 divided by 3 will give us 3, and then if we take 2 away from it, it will give us 1. Therefore, we use this rule of transformation here, and we will calculate the values. Here now it is y is equal to 1 by 3x minus 2. If that is the rule of transformation, let's put 0 here. If x is equal to 0, then what is y equal to? 1 by 3 into 0 minus 2. 0 divided by 3 is 0, and 0 minus 2 will give us answer minus 2. So let's write down minus 2 here. Now, when x is equal to 3, the rule of transformation is this: y is equal to 1 by 3 time, what is x? X is 3 now, minus 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 minus 2 is, answer is equal to minus 1. So this is minus 1 here. And now 6 is going inside, and we know 6 has to be divided by 3. If x is equal to 6, y is equal to 1 by 3 times 6 minus 2. So this is 6 divided by 3 2 times. So this is going to be 0. So this would give us 0 here. And if x is equal to 9, then y is equal to 1 by 3, 9 minus 2. this will give us 3 times. That would give us 3 minus 2. Answer is equal to plus 1. So here we get 1. Therefore, we have this table of values, and from this table of value, if we want to make pairs which we need to graph, then we certainly can make those pairs as 0, minus 2, and 3 minus 1, and 6 0, and 9 1. And these pairs are easy to plot on the graph paper and then draw the line to sketch the graph of this. If we want to find out the C and M values, we know that C value occurs. C is the value of y when x is equal to 0. So here x is equal to 0. So what is C value? That is equal to minus 2. And what is the M value? M value is equal to the second number, minus 1, minus, and whatever is the first one, minus 2, divided by 3 minus 0. So this is equal to minus 1, negative time negative, plus 2 over 3. This is equal to 1 over 3. So M is equal to 1 over 3. This is what we can get this information from the table of values. But if we were just to take a look on the equation, y is equal to 1 over 3 x minus 2, always remember that the coefficient of x when y is isolated, you can compare it with y is equal to mx plus c. The coefficient of x in this form, the coefficient of x is the m value. So m is equal to 1 over 3, and what is the c value? C is equal to minus 2. Just for practice, if find the m and c value of y is equal to minus x. If you want to find out the y and c value for this equation, what is m value? Compare it with y is equal to mx plus c. Instead of m, what is here? Minus 1, and here it is, because x is same as x, then this is equal to minus 1 here. So m value is equal to minus 1, and if there is no constant term on this side, then 0 is always the number. Then c value is equal to 0. It means that this graph passes through the origin because of the c value. C determines that how far from the origin the line passes. If c is equal to 0, it means the graph of the line passes through the origin. And m is equal to minus 1 means m is equal to rise over run. That is equal to minus 1 over 1, means that if we go minus 1 on this side and then go 1 on the upper side, then this would be the graph of the line. And this is very important to be able to find out the m value and c value from the equation of the line as well as from the tabular data for the line. If you can compare the m and c value, you can tell which graph corresponds to which equation. That we will cover in the next video.